Gotta fly to London tomorrow, man.
You're listening to DJ FX.
Get my last little shit off. I'm thinking about you. I wish that I could fly. I go everywhere and look over you. Spend my night in the air to be close to you. I wish I could be there. Oh, I love you inside out. Wish that I could be there. Can you let me in right now? Darling, open up your window and take my hand, 'cause it ain't nowhere we can't go. Just you and I. Leave it all behind. Staring in your eyes, between your thighs till the sun shines. If I could be there, oh, I love you inside out. I could be there. Can you let me in right now? Now that we're here, oh, I love you inside out. Let me be clear. Can you let me in right now? I don't know what it is, but lately my imagination been running wild, I guess. It's like, I wish that I could.
So do them other guys. Nobody wants you to ride more than I do. There's a nigga from the mud, looking for some love. TLC, ain't no scrub. You just was at the crib, shit still in the air. It's never enough, you stay outside, party next door, it's heavy on my chest and I can't help it. Girl, just bear with me, just hold on. Wait, hold up, I need a minute. Got me in my feelings again. Going deep all in my mind. Just 'cause I want you, don't take advantage of me. You're my heart in this song. My love for you aside. You give me like you're mine. Why switch it up overnight? Tryna read through you.
Always on the edge, looking down. Over mountain tops you climb with no one around. You've been trying way too hard just to be you. Trying to make a point when we already see you. You don't gotta go all alone by yourself. No, I'm there if you're lonely. Do you got someone like that? Do you need someone like that? Do you know you deserve someone like that? Someone like that? Is it right when I don't know what I don't know? Would it be wrong if I gotta sit, gotta think this through? Is it alright that I called you back? Is it wrong that I didn't hold back? You hit me right when I needed them. Who's gonna call when you need a hug?
I'm so raw uncut, and they know.
Schaefer, that's a hit. For real.
I'm so raw uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here is the real raw. Let's talk. Show it if you wanna learn some. Sit back and listen to me flow. If it's fast, money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worrisome like some gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bum bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on a TV screen. It's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut these hating hoes off. Like a fresh fade, get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari Reed. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk, show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. If I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes, this here's the real raw. Let's talk, show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow.
Y'all, it is Thursday, 7 o'clock time. Real Raw Let's Talk Hour. Welcome in, welcome in. How y'all doing? How are we doing, y'all? What's going on? It is Thursday, y'all, and I have a special guest tonight, and I am so excited to share him with y'all because we definitely had such a good conversation when we was on our Zoom call that we had to bring him on the show. It just was the done deal, okay? So for y'all that don't know, Real Raw Let's Talk is a podcast where we like to inspire, share our journey, talk entrepreneurship, and have real conversations that are really not happening, right? So we dive a little bit deeper than just your average podcast. So not only that, like I said, I'm your host, T Pretty Smile, and y'all, I'm everything in one, okay? I'm your BTS bestie. I'm your host for the night. I am entrepreneur. I'm a mom, a cancer survivor. It's a lot. Just go look your girl up. Go look your girl up. Okay, tonight and about me, it's about our special guest. But before I bring our special guest on, y'all know we got to get into these church announcements, okay? Church announcements. Now, first and foremost, give it up to yourself because you made it to Thursday, which means you're one day closer to Friday, okay? And that's weekend vibes. That's weekend vibes. So give it up for yourself, okay? Because you made it, okay? By the grace of God, you made it to Thursday. So let's go and get it over with and make it to Friday, okay? Now, I want to let y'all know that it's March, right? And for Real Raw Let's Talk, we are marching into some exciting topics. And when I say exciting, I'm talking about real tea this month. Real tea this month. Starting with tonight's guest, y'all. Oh, I can't tell y'all enough. But anyway, I want y'all also to go check out this week's To Be Tuesday. For a lot of y'all that don't know, To Be Tuesday, that's when your girl gives you a fly review, a hot real review, okay? About what's hot on Tubi, right? So this week, what was hot to watch? This week movie was called 40. Okay, 40. No, it ain't about the drink 40. No, it's not about. Go watch the film. Go watch the film, okay? When I say sisters don't want to be played, sisters don't want to be played, okay? This movie was talking about curiosity killing the cat, temptation. Oh, it was a lot. It was so good. So y'all definitely go check that out on Tubi. Now, last week's movie was The Acts of Betrayal. That was a good movie too. Y'all go watch that, okay? It was about some friends who got swingers friends and they go on vacation And let's just say they didn't know they was on the menu. Okay, they didn't know they was on the menu for activities. So definitely go watch both of those films. If you want your film to have a real review, okay, holla at your girl DM Tubi review or just DM Tubi and your girl got you. Okay, and I'll let you know how you can get those reviewed. Now, last but not least, for all my girlies out there who want to upgrade their lipstick game, right? Your lipstick closet, if you will. If you want to upgrade your lipstick closet, y'all chime into GGK Lipstick Diary. Okay, that's on all platforms, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, or it's on Instagram. Go to GGK Lipstick Diary. Okay, upgrade your lipstick game. Okay. Now, let's talk about tonight's special guest because I done told y'all a little bit, but y'all, this how excited. Let me tell you who he is. His name, we're going to call him Mr. Greg Craig tonight because I'm not going to chop up his last name. I'm just not going to do it. If I do, y'all, it won't be the same. Okay. We're going to call him Mr. Craig tonight. So I got Craig coming on, and Craig is not only an author, he's not also just an entrepreneur. He's a lung cancer survivor. He's also a mentor, and we're going to dive into that tonight. International speaker, father, and also a 9/11 volunteer responder. So we are so happy to have Craig to come on tonight and talk with us and get real raw because I want to know how he went from an entrepreneur, I mean from a 9/11 responder, right? Volunteer responder at that, to entrepreneurship, to mentoring businesses, to being an author. Like we really got to get into the meat and potatoes of Mr. Craig, okay? Because he got some gems he's gonna share tonight, and I'm just so curious to, how he's talked to world leaders like around the world. Like we gotta talk to Mr. Craig tonight, okay? So y'all go grab your snacks, go put the babies to bed, okay? They got school tomorrow. They need to be in the bed. It's time to go to bed. Okay, y'all, it's time to talk to Craig as soon as we get back from this commercial break. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let y'all see the review for 40. So that's what we're gonna watch right now. The review for my movie review for the movie 40 out on Tubi. Y'all go check that out. You can do the either one.
He never just did something out of curiosity. Just wanted to try it once.
Girl, it sounds like you're not doing enough. You need to be taking care of that man for somebody else to do it. Clock it.
I got a message on the site last night. I didn't even know you could message people on there.
Bro, you a good guy, a wholesome guy, a God-fearing guy, a family guy.
Man, it's just one time to get it out of my system. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious, man.
What you doing on this side of town? You cheating now? You should have did this shit 10 years ago.
Oh, when you need it most, when you need it most. When you need it most, and you're feeling numb, and your heart is hurt, who you gonna
Just rock with me and I rock with you. If I'm being honest, you can never left me too much. Too much to say no love.
I met a man, got a little confession. Went from a spark to a sweet obsession. Caught in hot water, I know he got someone else, but writing about him.
Oh, everyone. Oh, I see number music. Hey, y'all, welcome back. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all hold on one second. We're having a few technical difficulties. Give us just a minute. All right. What's going on, gang? Y'all, welcome back to the Real Raw Let's Talk Hour. Okay. And before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to Miss Set It Off. She wrote and produced the theme song for Real Raw Let's Talk. So when you hear it, y'all I'm giving her a big shout out. Thank you so much. It is a hit and I love it. And I just want to give her all the shout outs. And I really appreciate it. So tonight, like I said before, we got Mr. Craig in the building, y'all. Mr. Craig, come on to the forefront. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. For you guys that don't know, Craig is an author, an entrepreneur, a mentor, a 9/11 a volunteer responder, an international speaker, a father, and a cancer survivor. I am so honored to have you on and talk with you again. Let me say that because from the time we was talking on the phone, it just was we were just talking. It was getting good, and so I just really thank you for sharing your gems and your light on what you do in your field.
Thank you.
So welcome. So my first question is how? Okay, how did someone go from being a 9/11 volunteer responder to a cancer survivor, okay, to a mentor business, like you're mentoring business leaders around the world. Like how did that even come about?
So I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life, ever since I'm a little kid. And, I was a kid with a lemonade stand all the way up to selling chocolate and hustling newspapers and anything that we could to make money, right? And it was funny because egotistically, I always thought I'd be famous for something in business. And
Mm,
I ended up gaining infamy for being a 9/11 cancer guy. And it took me
mm,
a while
mm.
to swallow that, swallow the pride on that. Yeah, I've been mentoring people pretty much my whole life. Um, 9/11 just 9/11 was one of those things that was a crossroad in my life. And being there for 2 days, I ended up getting lung cancer. And
Mm.
I say 2 days because I hit the wrong lotto. To get any kind of like health benefits or anything, you had to be there 4 hours of the first 5 days. I was there 2 days of the first 5 days. So I hit the
What?
wrong lotto. I'm sorry?
Wait. So you don't get health benefits because it was a certain time that you had to be on duty?
Oh yeah, no, you had to be there to be considered for a victims compensation fund as well as health benefits. You had to be there
Wow.
4 hours of the first 5 days. I was there 2 days of the first 5 days. So I ingested a lot more carcinogens. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's been a pretty
Wow.
interesting ride.
I'm sure it has. I'm sure it has been. What was that journey like going from that and now look at, you're like you said, you've always been an entrepreneur, but now like you're talking to business leaders, like you're giving advice, you're mentoring. So what was that journey like?
So I look back on it and I laugh a lot at everything, and I think for me, it was sitting in that misery.
Hmm.
I mean, cancer, right? As soon as you hear cancer, your whole world shuts down.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
in my life, people walked away from me. People started treating me different. People were looking at me like I was lazy as I was battling cancer because they were still expecting an entrepreneur to show up. And, not being able to pay the rent, pay the bills, and you're supposed to be a high
Mm,
achiever. So you go into those, just the spiral, that self sabotage mode. Who am I? Why am I? And it wasn't
mm,
until I got mentored by one of the best motivational speakers on planet, uh, with Les Brown, the Godfather of Greatness, that he gave me an
mm.
opportunity. And I used to speak at convention centers before. And
Oh,
as I
wow.
was, yeah, in real estate and real estate finance, we created the first online repository of owner finance and lease purchase properties in the world. So I was, I was okay with startups. I've been okay pretty much, failing in life, because you're an
Mm,
entrepreneur. So you have to push yourself to a different level, right? Different
yeah.
understanding of yourself. And
Hmm.
I've always been into um, mindset. I had to tap into during the cancer battle, and they told me I was potentially being treated 4 different times for 4 different cancers, and they were only
Wow.
right once, and I have the scars for all 4 times. And uh,
Wow.
they took my mid and lower lobe, my right lung out for the lung cancer. Then they told me that I was potentially being treated for breast cancer twice because that's huge in the 9/11 community for men. And
I did not know that. When you told me
yeah,
that on the Zoom, I was so shocked because I was like, breast cancer, you know.
yeah. And then the last time, and this is, I guess, how the mindset works because I've been misdiagnosed. I've gone through all the MRIs, the treatments, the scans for years. Getting misdiagnoses, just living in pain, misery, suffering,
Hmm.
self-imposed stuff, right? And the fourth time was in 2024, and I had a knee surgery, and I had a bunch of knee surgeries before. I had a knee ablation that gave me 3 blood clots and almost killed me. And
Mm,
so I had this last surgery in 2024 in September, and in November my leg still wasn't healing. And
wow.
I went back to the surgeon, and the doctor was like, "Look, man, I think the reason why your leg isn't healing is because you have synovial sarcoma of your leg." And 5 minutes later, he addressed me, and he's like, "Look, I don't know how you did that, but I gave you a potential bad diagnosis." He goes, "And you fucking laughed in my face." He's like, "How did you do that? Like, come on, man. I'm
Yeah.
giving you a cancer diagnosis and you laugh." And it was because of all the misdiagnoses. It was because of all the treatments. It was because of male breast cancer. Are you kidding me? Everything I've done in my
Hmm.
life are going to be taken out by male breast cancer. How embarrassing is that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have to develop a sense of humor. And as I've been doing this, I've been on radio, TV
Hmm.
during this whole battle. And as far as entrepreneurship, I used to mentor people in real estate. And
Hmm.
I guess that to next level is just I'm here to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. And I have a message to humanity that we don't have time. We
Yeah.
don't. You
You know,
know.
that's what I was gonna ask you that next. Like going through what you've already been through and to like I think you told me on the phone, you're like, I was supposed to be taken out of here 4 times. Like, did that give you a different sense of time now? Like how time is and the hours we have, the time we have on in life, period.
So the thing is, I don't really believe in time the way normal people believe in time. I think it's you ever do something and you really don't like it, and time drags on. But yet,
Yeah, work.
if you put the energy into something really like that you love, goes by so fast. So for me,
Hmm.
it's more about the energy thing because I've been in relationships where things never worked out, and if I look at all the time that I put into it, I become miserable. However, if I put the energy
Mm.
into something different, it just changes the way I think.
It changed your perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow. I never thought of it like that. That's kind of one of those like half empty, half full, because it's all about your perception and how you see time, how you see that.
Yeah.
So that's that's strength coming from you, because a lot of people, have been through so much. Like I was telling you on the phone, like I, we all been through something, and like I struggle with survivor's guilt a lot. With having cancer, because I didn't have to go through chemo, I didn't have to go through radiation. And so when people come up to me and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," I'd be like, I don't want to be mean, but be like, I don't need that, because give that to somebody else who deserves it. And
Well, you
so
deserve it. You beat cancer.
yeah, I mean,
I didn't get chemo or radiation either. They just took my body parts out. They took my mid and lower lobe, my right lung out.
now that's a blessing you didn't have to do chemo, especially with them
I wasn't going to do it
misdiagnosing
anyway.
you.
I wouldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that chemo, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do radiation, none of that.
I just lost a friend of mine. From cancer, but
Oh,
he died, and he didn't have cancer. He died from the treatment. I had a friend years ago. She passed away from the radiation 7 years after she got radiated. So I
oh,
mean,
wow.
everything depends on how, I guess, your perspective and your mindset on what you're looking to do. If
Yeah.
I'm going out my way.
I believe you would. I believe you would. The way you would go out, you would rock out. Now, you was talking about that you experienced a little bit of survivor's guilt as well. How do you reconcile, like, with survivor's guilt?
Well, I don't have any emotional attachment to any of my stories anymore, like zero. So my recalls of whatever I've been through,
Hmm.
there's no flood of the adrenaline and cortisol. I'm always into feel good chemicals because I put the time and energy into myself. There was no other way of getting out of that self-loathing, self-sabotaging behavior other than studying epigenetics, heart and brain coherence, and understanding that we 5% of everything that we do in this world is conscious thought. It's 95% that is automated in our life. That's our subconscious behavior. So
Mm.
I've studied subconscious behavior and found out about the reticular activating system and what it does. And I've been self hypnotizing pretty much my whole life ever since I'm a little kid. And I just realized a few years ago, what exactly it was that I was doing. I was doing so many different things that I just never knew that there was a name for it. And
Mm.
now I explain to people that to tap into the quantum field, the human Wi Fi, right?
Hmm.
And people are like, well, what is that? It's a little woo for me. And all it is when you have a cell phone, okay, the cell phone company taps into a frequency and then they send you a bill, right? Because your cell phone isn't
Hmm.
attached to anything, it's attached to Wi Fi. Well, your reticular activating system is tapped to the human Wi Fi. So if you could
Okay.
tap into it and change your habits and behavior subconsciously, your external world is going to change. So when you're thinking bad stuff, bad events are going to happen. When you're not being who you're supposed to be, rather than what society says you're supposed to be,
Mm.
then that is a game changer.
Hmm.
So what I do with clients, right, is just have them go back to being a kid again. And it doesn't matter how much money they have. It doesn't matter how big the house is, the cars, because that that's the external validation that we're all looking
Okay.
for. It's when
Okay.
you internally validate yourself. Now I don't have to worry
Okay.
about the people, places, and things around me. I could drive up to some place in a hoopty. Nobody's going to care because I don't
Hmm.
care. I don't care if somebody judges me or says something about me. It's irrelevant in my eyes simply because they're talking to me from their experience,
Mm.
right? So everything is about
Right.
linguistic programming, neurological linguistic programming. You listen to words and phrases that people use, and you can tell what kind of childhood they had,
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. You
right?
know, speaking of the mind, I had something I wanted to ask. So, like, as a 9/11 responder, right? Like, what did that teach you about people's instinct, like about human instinct in chaos or in a crisis, like dealing with coming from like a behavioral therapy, like a behavioral mindset point of view?
For me, it was It was definitely surreal because, you know, I look back on it now and I'm like, I actually stood on top of the World Trade Center after it collapsed. Right. So
Wow.
that just blows my mind all on its own. And
Wow.
then the stuff that I witnessed there, that was another mind altering kind of experience. And to process it all, your mind shuts down because it's pure chaos, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you're there and you're looking around and it was like, wow, like I'm actually here. What am I doing here? What are you kidding me? What do you get out of here?
That's
Right?
the
That's the
question.
first
What are
thing.
you
It's
doing
like, yo,
here?
let's go. We got to get out of here. And when I first got there, just real quick, so I was on a bucket brigade, right?
What's
But
that?
we were moving things with buckets before the big
Okay.
cranes and stuff can come in. So
Okay.
there was long lines of people with buckets that were like go to the front of the line, put things in the bucket, pass it back down this huge line, and there was thousands of people, hundreds of people around, right? People are
Wow.
doing all kinds of crazy things, and you're
Mm,
standing there, and it's like all your senses, man, they're all heightened because it's like
mm,
it's like what am I doing here? I've never seen a war zone ever, right?
mm-hmm.
But I do know what it's like to clean up a bombing campaign. That's something entirely different. And I'm there with vets, firemen, police guys, everyday people because it was so early. And people looking for their spouses and loved ones, and just it was just an amazing experience. It really was. And
Wow.
now that it's 25 years later, I'm here to tell people, look, if you were there, you need to get checked because things might not have happened yet, but it's gonna eventually. There's gonna be some kind of
Mm,
exotic disease or cancer that's gonna pop up in your life, and it's gonna be linked directly to what you did there.
mm. Do you feel like you're going through that? I mean, you called it trauma, so I'm gonna use trauma. Do you feel like going through that or going through those experiences that you had help you find your purpose or your true identity?
I believe so. I believe that. Well, so I believe that was part of it. I believe it was just another experience. It was,
Mm,
there's post traumatic stress disorder, and then there's chronic post traumatic stress disorder.
okay.
So
Explain those.
when you have post traumatic stress disorder, there's an incident, right, and then there's a trauma response. When you
Okay.
consistently have bad shit happening in your life, that's chronic, right? So
Mm,
your awareness is heightened all the time, 24/7.
mm-hmm.
So after 9/11, right, I experienced two hurricanes in 3 weeks. 2.5 years later, 3 years later, I wasn't even processing 9/11. And I
Wow.
remember when the hurricanes kicked in, right? In the end, I'm looking around and it looked like the same thing. There's house parts all over the place. So I wasn't even processing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It took me years later to start processing.
Wow. You have such a deep story, and just to be a mentor and pour into other people with how to navigate through that. Like that's definitely being purposeful. Very intentional as well.
I believe so. Like I said before, I'm here to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed.
And that's good. We need more people like that, room changers. Not just room shakers, but room changers. Definitely so. Um, Guys, we're gonna take a really, really quick commercial break, so we can fill up our, Shamrock cup is a little empty. We're gonna refill that with some water, and then we're gonna come back and talk with Mr. Craig about true identity, finding purpose, and a little bit more about his mentorship and the books that he has out. So we're gonna talk about that, guys. So give us 5 minutes, go get your snacks and re-up and come back.
I'm running on me life. Oh boy, it's just a pity. It's a pity that I already got a guy. But you know, say we grown, so we have to do what we like. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do what we like, do what we need. Yeah. Could I be blind and on me feelings? Rolling the dice with no revealing. But if you give me a vibe, then I receive it. She know say we grown, so we got to do what we like. Do what we like. Ooh, yeah.
Feelings ain't right, and I know what the bitches don't like. Same why you gotta try me at night, 'cause I want you on your knees, girl. She's begging just for free. She don't count whatever I need. All the bitches don't last forever, forever now. Never settle just for a fee. Not living in harmony. I said I gotta let things go. Oh, let things go. Come on now. Come on now. I don't wanna be prone to suffering. Life is a mess, steady buffering. Don't open up the gates, don't let that in. I'm telling who you are, you're a sex addict. It's been a long time, don't let the bad in. Just wait, let the bad in. No. But I did what I had to do, and I still didn't lose, 'cause I got you on your knees, girl. Come on now. Come on now. I don't wanna be prone to suffering. Life is a mess, steady buffering. Come on now. Come on now. I don't wanna be prone to suffering. Life is a mess, steady buffering. Say it from the heart, 'cause your words are hard. And I still don't know. 'Cause your words are hard. You can trust me, baby. Don't you Baby, how do I explain? 'Cause saying how I feel just won't hit the same. Taking action is all I can do, and I only hope it's enough for you. This time it's gonna be special. Nobody making me let go. I know what you really need. This time it's gonna be different. Give you what you've been missing. I know what you want from me. You want me to love on you. Want me to love on you. Want me to love on you. Oh no, oh no. She said take your time, what's the rush? I said baby I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said take your time, what's the rush? I said baby I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I can smoke already, so hard in my blunt is. I see past pretty faces, so I got trouble trusting. But I let my guard down for you. Said I put my guard down for you. Said I'll be vulnerable so you can.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Y'all, it's been already a time talking with Mr. Craig. We have been informed about so much. And now we're gonna dive into him talking about true identity. So, Craig, I have a question. So you spent 3 decades, talking to different business owners, entrepreneurs, and helping them finding their true identity. What's the biggest mistake that business owners make when finding they're trying to find or discover their identity or their true identity?
So what I've learned over the years, right, that it's that nobody laughs or cries in a different language, right? I've lived in different cultures. I've mentored people all over the world, and the one thing that I've realized is parents love to throw their failures onto their kids in the hopes
Mm.
in the hopes that their failures become the kids' successes.
Okay, talk about that.
So when you're a little kid, okay, and you want to please mommy and daddy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or whoever's raising you, you don't have a vested interest in anything because your family members want you to be what they failed at. So that mindset sticks with people. So as they're creating their entrepreneur journey, there's always some kind of self-doubt. There's always that story, the emotional attachment to the story that's holding us back.
Mm. Okay.
So I go in and I tinker a little bit.
And you get to trigger it a little bit.
Well, you have to. What I do with people is I'll understand their story with empathy, of course, because we're all going through something, right?
Right,
And
right.
and it's like you can't judge somebody because it's their experience. So what I've learned is you have to meet people where they're at, not where you're at,
That's very true.
right?
Yeah. But then you have some unexpected expectations.
Well, yeah, because then you know what you're looking for the outcome is for people to have an aha moment, right? That epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
But but you have to hold the mirror up so they can see themselves,
Mm. I like that.
right? So it's like listening to their story. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, I understand. Uh-huh. And then when somebody says something that might be out of line with who they're saying they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's when you go in. That's when you go in for the
For the
kill
kill.
per se. Can't say that, right? But I mean, you do you want like my whole world is about having people be better for themselves, having people show up better than who they
Yeah.
were yesterday or who they were 10
Yeah.
minutes ago, and not that external validation because that messes
Mm.
people up because it's like,
Yep.
hey, I want this car, but it's like you're going to waste all of this money to impress people you don't even like. Why even bother?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when people are looking for external validation, you know what kind of level of insecurity they have.
Yeah.
So you want
Yeah.
to tap into that insecurity and then go to that story of why they feel less than.
So do you automatic when you meet people and you're mentoring people, you automatically go into this download mode where they're telling you and you're like, all right, boop, that's where it is. That's what the problem is.
Well, so it's like the facial expressions, right? It's the micro expressions, it's the facial tics, it's how somebody looks a certain way. It's it's a. I look at myself as a cyborg.
Mm. Okay. What you mean?
Like
Explain.
it's my job. Like I've done many rounds of dimethyltryptamine, so I have different downloads in my life. So what I'm looking for, okay, is not what the average person is looking for. I'm looking for people's tells, because whether you're going to say something to me, okay, your body language is going to tell everything more than
That's
your
true.
more than your spoken languages. So when people are trying to express a story, if they can't express it in the like without the emotional attachment, you want to get into the emotional attachment. Why do you have an emotional attachment with that story? Who told you you
Mm.
should be less than? Like, who told you you couldn't have great ideas and then execute on them? Why are you holding everything back with fear? Fear of what? In 2026, man, it's like fear of what? Look at the world. The world
Yeah.
is ridiculous, right?
Do you?
There's so many different stories. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, there's just so many stories out there. Why wouldn't you just want to show up and be authentically yourself?
Right. 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 But is it? Do you think that like when it comes to like finding your true identity, do you think that fear stops us, or it's confidence, the self-esteem, or is it the trauma? Like which is the greatest barrier, should I say?
We have two emotions that we do everything off of: fear and love. So, fear, right? False evidence appearing real. It's like,
Okay.
so you have all of those insecurities. Somebody told you when you were 5 you sucked at something, and you brought that when you're 38, and you're ready to make a major decision on a purchase of a company, or you're looking at real estate deals, and you feel less than because you don't think that you're mentally adequate enough to be able to fulfill your dreams.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's paying attention anyway, man. Do it. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna mock you, ridicule you,
Yeah.
especially if you're starting off here, right? And I'm starting
Hmm.
to excel, and you're staying here. Now all of a sudden you got a problem with me because he's too uppity right now, or he thinks he's
Yeah.
this and he's think.
That's it.
I don't care. I don't care what somebody thinks about me anymore. I'm 60 years old, right? I've been fighting my whole life. I'm at peace. So I'm at
Hmm.
peace with myself. I'm not looking for external validation anymore. I
There we
validated
go.
myself. And it's so important because self
Yeah.
esteem is so important.
It
Personal
definitely.
development is so important because it's personal. It's got nothing to do with anybody
Hmm.
else. I needed to come to Mexico and recalibrate myself for me, nobody else. So
Mm.
then I could stand up again. Then I could
Yep.
become the monster, you know?
Yep.
Then I could be that, you know, warrior in the garden instead of the gardener at war. Ain't
You're
happening.
right. You're right. Even on a small note, like you said, believing in yourself, and we have trauma, like people telling us we can't do it and such. Like even on a small scale, I remember for a long time, from the time I think I was 18 to I think 30, I was always told like by my parents, like, oh, get a cash car, get a cash car. You're not gonna be able to afford, car note. Car notes are, hell. I was always given this fear that a car note is something like you're just not supposed to do. And it wasn't until I was 30 and I got my first actual car and got a car note, and I was successfully paying it and everything till someone hit me, had a car wreck. But the thing was, like, just getting out, you're so right though, with getting out that mindset of being always told, that we're less than, not better, or we can't do this, we can't do that. And when you finally get to do it, it's so much self gratification. It's just like, it's just you get that aha moment. Like,
Got
you
that
know what?
validation.
Yeah, that validation. It's so much better when you have self-validation versus having anybody else validation. It's like, have you were told when you was a kid, like, you'll know the difference when you work for it and get it yourself versus having somebody else get it for you. It's kind of like that. When somebody else purchases you something, you appreciate it, but it's not the same as when you purchase it. You have a different care for it. You know what I mean?
You have that sweat equity in your life. You're actually busting your ass for it. Yeah, it's something entirely
Yeah.
different.
It totally different. Totally different. Another thing I wanted to ask you was, how is finding your what was it? I'll be writing questions down because my mind will forget. Oh, how is knowing like your self identity? How does that help with like finding your purpose, or do they work like alongside of each other?
Yeah, they work alongside of each other. Like, so your self identity is all your stories, right?
Okay.
It's all your stories. And then how are you going to find yourself in all of these stories if you have all of these emotions to it, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
have to separate yourself emotionally from the stories. And that's going to bring your identity. Once you do that deep, dark work, once you sit in that less than, right? That I feel broken, or why didn't this happen, or why
Mm-hmm.
didn't that happen, or why doesn't mommy and daddy love me, or whatever, right? That validation, that external validation is from people that maybe they didn't love themselves. And that's how they express that, you know, it's everything for the most part is us. And
Yeah.
we need to become an observer in this world. Because if
Mm.
somebody's mocking you and ridiculing you and saying you can't do certain things, it's a mirrored reflection of what they can't do.
Mm. I like that. I like that. Sorry, it's a lag. Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely like that because you're right. A lot of times people put on you what they don't accept or what they don't do or what they lack. They'll pawn that on you. And so it's how again back to validation. If you have yourself validated, you feel self-validated, that won't even come into the picture. You know what I mean? That won't
It
even
doesn't. It just completely eliminates that out of that math equation.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. How did you how did you like, go through the ruckus of what you've been through to stand where you are today? Like, how do you, like you said, shit happens to folks. It happens, and I tell people all the time, your story ain't what you've been through. Your story is how you overcame it. So, how did you get through all the bad shit and like literally overcame? How did you overcome?
So I listen to frequencies. I understand.
We must
I
talking about this.
understand that when I think about something, right? That's a conscious thought. That's 5% of our day.
Okay.
I've learned that when I go to sleep, I can learn more while I'm sleeping than when I can during the day because your reticular activating system works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can give it the
Hmm.
suggestions, right, in whatever state that you're in while you're sleeping.
Wait a
Epigenetics,
minute.
man. Epigenetics is it's an entirely different thing. This is the magic that people have been waiting for, right? But people have been waiting for this magic pill or this magic sauce
Mm-hmm.
outside of them. The magic sauce is us. It's God. It's the energy. It's that universal oomph that we all have.
Mm.
And when we tap into us, then you have heart and brain coherence. Most people think that this is the brain. It's not. This is the
Mm-hmm.
antenna. This is the receiver. Your heart is the brain. Your heart is what
Mm.
pumps, right? Without you even thinking about it. It just pumps,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So if your phone rings, whether you're a lefty or righty, your brain doesn't say, hey, go get that with your right hand. No, you've automatically taught it through habits.
Oh, so that's what you have to do within yourself.
Exactly. So if you keep
Mm.
changing how you think, you better yourself through repetitive behaviors, repetitive patterns. In martial arts, if you want to learn master one movement, you have to do it
Mhm.
10,000 times, right? So to
Mm.
think different, you have to do it differently 10,000 times. Most of
Mhm.
us, we don't want to create the foundation because from 0 to 8 years old, our foundation was already put into us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to restructure that cracked foundation, we need to learn new habits for ourselves. Once we
Mhm.
do that, then everything starts to change. You have synchronicities left, right, and center, man. You no longer have, what is this person going to say about me if I make a mistake? Or how is
Mhm.
that person going to treat me if I make a mistake? Who cares? Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody, yeah. And we
Everybody
learn the
sucks at
most making
something.
mistakes.
Exactly. I've learned more through my failures, and I call them lessons, than I have my successes.
Hmm.
Just a
What
different
did
way of
you
thinking.
you said unlearning things? What are some things you had to unlearn to get where you are now?
My whole life.
He said everything, top to
Ev-
bottom.
Everything. Everything. Like, I had to go back to when I was molested as a kid, why that made me feel the way it felt. Why was I self loathing? Why did I become a drug addict in my teens
Mm.
to be able to suppress those feelings?
Mm.
Right? Because back in, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Like, you just deal with whatever you deal with because your
Yeah,
parents are dealing with whatever they deal with. Right?
yeah.
So it's like you got to be tough. You got to be strong. And it doesn't matter. There's nobody to talk to. There wasn't psychologists, psychiatrists,
That
right?
didn't exist.
You talk about your feelings, and my father would smack me upside the head. We don't have feelings, I mean that kind of
Hmm.
shit. But yet I was brought in with so much love. My parents, every day, man, I love you, I love you, I love you. Hugs, kisses. That's the way. Like my friends used to laugh at me. Why do you kiss your father? Be 15, 16, 17 years old. That's how I was raised. I kissed my dad. I hugged my dad. Kids be like,
Mm.
you're a faggot. What are you doing? And it's like, what does that have to do with anything? I'm
Yeah.
showing love, right? And that's the reason why I can express love now because I was raised with love. So it
Hmm.
made it easier for me to be able to change how I think because I already had that base footprint. I already had that foundation set with
Yeah, that
love.
foundation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people that don't have love in their life.
A
So
lot
how are
of
they
a
going to
lot of
love
people.
how are they going to love you if they don't even know how to love themselves?
Talk that, Craig. You
And you
speaking?
got
You
and you
sure?
have to and you have to love yourself. So whatever it is, you have to love yourself enough to be responsible and accountable to change the way you think.
Tell it.
Not what happened to you. That
Hmm.
you don't have to be like, "Oh, I forgive you." You don't have to do that shit. Just accept the apology that's not coming and move on. But it takes work.
I've never heard nobody say it like that. I'm like, you ain't gotta accept that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Move on from it.
Yeah.
Do the work. And that's the thing. I don't think a lot of us want to do the work because it's
Of
so
course
much.
not.
Sometimes it's triggering. Oh, it is triggering. And no one wants
Good.
to go back to
Good.
those feelings. You
Good. If you're
know?
being triggered, you haven't worked on your triggers.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Look, I
I
still
and I
react to things. I still react to things, right? But it's not a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a split second, and as soon as I feel that biochemistry change, it's like, oh fuck no, man, I ain't got nothing to do with this.
He said that ain't me.
Not me at all. Used to be.
Mm, man. You think success is more like about discipline or um like emotional intelligence? Like
Emotional
now that you
intelligence
know,
and discipline.
oh, I just thought you was gonna say emotional intelligence.
Well, you get the emotional intelligence by being disciplined in being changing who you are. Because what happens when you
Mm.
start looking at yourself as the root cause of all your problems, you get uncomfortable,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
then what happens when you get uncomfortable? You always want to like, oh
Shut it
shit, I don't
down.
want to do this no more. I want to go
You
back
wanna
to my
shut it
comfort
down.
zone. You shut it
Yep.
down, right? No, you got to get uncomfortable being uncomfortable, man, and live
Yeah.
it from that point forward.
Yep.
Because when you can walk by faith and not by sight, everything starts to change.
Ooh.
Everything changes.
Come on. Craig, let me find out you was to be a pastor.
A pastor. I walk into a church and that fucker will blow up, man. I got it's hard enough. It's hard enough looking up, right, and just being like, man, you got a funny sense of humor with all the shit you throw my way, man. You know?
No, I definitely understand that. I got to a place with that. Some people be like, "You going through what? You been through?" Yeah, baby. At the time, I couldn't laugh about it, but now, like going through the hardest, I feel like the hardest part of my life with the cancer and some other things that transpired after. It's like now I'm at a place where it's like, All right, guys, what you gonna do? We gonna laugh about this because ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm trying, and it's happening. Like it's more stuff is happening, and it's like when something get off your plate, it's like Lord, just put some whole load of mashed potatoes back on there, and and it get to a point where you just gotta sit back and be like, Lord, like just take the humor. I'm like you. Humor does a lot. Humor just not just changes the situation, but it uplifts you. It make you change your perspective of the situation.
So walk into church nowadays, right?
Uh,
You walk into church. Do you
mm,
feel that godly energy, or are you feeling that energy of everybody's gossiping about everybody else, or what somebody's wearing, or who their husband's sleeping with because it's not a female, it might be another guy, and who's
mm-hmm.
walking around all righteous and they're not. And church is here,
Yeah,
man. This is the only real estate you can own.
I like that. He says on real estate you can own. I like
Yeah,
that.
man. Everything else is a contract.
Oh, look, that's a whole nother conversation right there now, Craig. That's another conversation, okay? Y'all, we are going to come back. We're going to take another quick break because when we come back, we're going to talk about purpose and a little bit more about identity, true identity. And we're going to dive in a little bit about Craig's mentorship, how you guys can get involved with him. He's definitely dropping some gems. So go get your refill, come back, and we will be right back with Mr. Craig.
Slizzy, but this bitch forgot. Run my city, they won't take my spot. Nigga run up, then he gon' get shot. I just ran a milli up on God. Beat that pussy, she scream out no mas. Claim they real, but that shit a facade. Gave me chills when I found out you lied. The nerve of you, I thought you were right. Thought you were slide. My bitch said she need a cash app, I'ma send that like high. I don't even wonder why. No, my bitch so fly. No, she the prize. Let's get 5-5. Nice eyes, ass on the thighs. That bitch is good, but she is not better than mine. My bitch not friendly, don't like none of my guys. Nigga run up, then he gon' get shot. I just ran a milli up on God. On God. We out in Brooklyn, turning up another notch. I'm slizzy drizzy, baby, you know how I rock. I'm doing toast with my moles at the spot. I'm a stunner, I'm a C, that's on God. Yo, man, time's up and he's on the clock. I wear my rollie upside down in the spot. That way the sixes is always on top. She said her bestie wanna get home and swap. I said, well, this time I might have to. I said, well, this time I might be a thought. I can't tell y'all stop. She just did a bean out of Boston, oh my. A Tesla in Texas, self-drive. A Thiz on the bridge, see the city lights. A name on the guest list, so am I. Let's go inside, hey, okay. I'm still in the club, looking for love. turned up, all 2, 3, all 2, 3. Had to turn off, had to turn off. Oh, yeah, yeah. Somebody who loves me in the building. Somebody who feel me in the building. We throw 50,000 at the ceiling. Oh, yeah. I know there's somebody who loves me. Somebody who really loves. Long time you have to fuck me, baby. Long time you have to if you bend over, if you take over, if you take over, baby. If you bend over, if you take over, if you take over, baby. Hey, let go, throw funny gongo. Straight from Portmore, you know about jungle. Got the butterfly by your pussy, make me dump up. Girl, you been through enough. Don't judge me if I wanna lick up. Don't judge me, I'm curious. Don't judge me, what Sunday I scared, girl. Don't judge me if I don't pull it out. You give me the wickedest time. Me and you can cross some lines. Show me things I can't believe with my eyes. Show me heaven for I see I and I. Give me the wickedest love, my baby. You know you're going too crazy now, baby. Long time you have to fuck me, baby. Long time you have to if you bend over, if you take over, if you take over, baby. If you bend over, if you take over, if you take over, baby.
When I started Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses, I needed a website. Figuring out how to make one was pretty hard.
Yep, on God. On God, yeah. We out in Brooklyn, turning up another notch. I'm slizzy drizzy, baby, you know how I rock. I'm doing toast with my moles at the spot. I'm a stunner, I'm a C, that's on God. Yo, man, time's up and he's on the clock. I wear my rollie upside down in the spot. That way the sixes is always on top. She said her bestie wanna get.
Yeah, we are back with Mr. Craig. And if y'all haven't tuned in now, go back and watch the full episode, okay? Go back to the beginning because I promise you'll have your mouth open, eating your popcorn snacks up with all the stuff me and Mr. Craig been talking about between true identity, him being a 9/11 responder, behavior. We've been talking about it all. And I want to come back and talking about understanding like human behavior. Like, how has understanding human behavior shaped you as a parent? Because you're a father too.
Absolutely. But we learned, like, me and my ex, we wanted to put into our daughter what we never got, right?
Of course, like
So,
every parent.
like, like we wanted to make sure, like, the foundation was there. And it was more about communication. So when she was
Mm,
very small, we taught her basic sign language
okay.
so she could communicate. If she was hungry, she'd go like this.
Mm-hmm.
If she was tired, she'd go like this. That eliminated like 90% of the crying because she was able to
Wow.
communicate before she could talk, right?
Mm, makes sense.
So when she used to cry, right, she'd be like, ah. I used to take her and just look at her and just go, doo. And she used to look at me like a puppy, man. She used to look, but she would stop because I understood somatic frequencies.
Talk about that.
So what people don't realize is everything is based off of frequencies.
Okay.
Music. You listen to some bad music, right? It puts you in a bad mood. You listen to upbeat music, makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's frequencies. So when you're with somebody and they're screaming at you all the time, different fucking frequency. You don't want
Very
to
much
be
so.
there, right? You're like, why am
Yeah.
I even here? Why am I even bothering? But
Mm-hmm.
when you teach children 0 to 8 years old, you can see the adult. I look at my kid now; she's 20 years old, and I'm just like, I listen to her talk, and I'm just like, wow, wow. Because every time I see her, every time I listen to her talk, I still have this baby, man. You know,
Yeah, of
I
course.
still have my baby. And then,
Mm-hmm.
when she was 17, 18, 19, it was like, that's not my baby. How you talking to your dad like
Mm.
that, man? You feeling the oats, right?
Yep.
But I mean, she's been through a lot. She's watched me, she's watched all the
Yeah.
pain and bullshit that I've been through,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a different experience. But children are the best, man. That's why we have to protect them.
Facts. Like we was talking behind stage. It's a lot going on in this world that has really tainted the way our kids think and the way that we pour into them. A lot of things. Um, yeah, just not even on a behavior, just mentally, spiritually. I think a lot of people don't realize how significant it is what we pour into our kids.
Sure, most of us are just pouring our regurgitated bullshit that we haven't learned into our kids.
Or dealt with. We haven't dealt with.
Mm.
And we keep passing that down. And again, I go back to the most, and I'm always taking it back to the simplest things. So just people will understand, like, um, what they call it, living in a survival mode.
Yeah, survival
Uh,
mode, man.
Man, it happens on all different levels. And man, Craig, I had to have a realization with myself. I do this a lot. Especially after I talk with different people like you, I go back and I'm like, yep, that's a moment. You know? And I remember years ago, I had my daughter, she's 11 now. And when I first had her, I grew up in a household of three. So it's me and my two brothers. And so our living was different. I had a two-parent household, but then also at one point, my mom was a single mom, and then they were back together. Well, I was always taught, like, we get the cheapest thing, we get bologna, we get. So after I had my daughter, I still was in that mode and didn't have to be. Even though I was a single parent, I still could afford for one child. So it wasn't until after I got older and I was like, I don't have to eat this just because it's cheap. It's just I still was in survival mode. And so then when I started purchasing other things, other brands, and that was more expensive, to my mom, it was foreign. And she didn't understand that. And she was like, why are you buying that? You could get the cheapest thing. And I'm like, well, I don't have to. It's just me and her. And to her, she didn't compute that. And so she was still in survival mode. And survival mode is one of those things as a behavior that we are taught. And I don't think that sometimes we truly think about how it affects us later in life.
That's the whole thing, man. Later in life, what happens? Most of us are children in adult bodies. So whatever you've experienced,
That's true.
right, as a child, you're gonna express as an adult,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? It's like you listen to somebody, you're like, you're such a child. Yes, you're a child in an
Yeah.
adult body. So it's like,
Because he is.
Why are we listening to these people that just talk nonsense?
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what profession they're in. Remember, 50% of the people that are running the earth are probably the bottom half of the 50% of their class. They still graduated.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Like as as an entrepreneur, what is the most powerful thing that we can do for ourselves?
Love yourself more.
Ooh, I like that. That was deep. That was short, plain, period. Why you
Concrete.
say that? Why you say that? What makes you
Well,
say
because it's
that?
going to show up in all your transactions, right?
Mm,
So if you're feeling less than, right, and okay, yeah, you could do that. No, no, that's somebody robbing you. No. One of the craziest things I used to listen to when I was growing up and as an adult in entrepreneurship, win-win
mhm.
situations. Win-win. Somebody's always getting fucked. This is
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. What do you win-win?
Yeah.
So I just made the deal, right? And it's like, oh, we won one. Okay. But why didn't you take less price then? Like, why didn't you take less money, right? How's that
Yeah.
win-win? I want a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of a wholesale, and you just jacked it to retail. Well, everybody wants a discount, right? Everybody wants a
Yeah.
discount.
Everybody wants
That's
a
in the
discount.
coaching industry. I don't even do that anymore, man. Nah, I did that tens of thousands of hours of that nonsense.
Man, that right there, everybody wants a discount all the
Everybody wants a
time. No
discount.
matter what you do, no matter what you do.
You could be selling hot dogs, man. They're like, yo, can I take the last part off just a little bit?
Yeah, it don't matter what you do. Everybody does want a discount. Now, I also want to ask you, let's dive into you about mentoring. So you do mentorship. How can someone like if they want you to, because you're pouring into people, how do you help them with their identity and their purpose, learning about themselves? How do you teach that in your mentorship that you have?
I have an 8-week course, one-on-one. I
Okay.
do everything one-on-one. It's nothing automated. I'm that guy. I want to know you, right? So I give
Personal.
so I give anybody goes to my website and they put their information in. I give everybody 15 minutes with a takeaway. So it's like you
Okay.
you present you present an obstacle, we'll examine it. I'll give you a takeaway, send you on your way. I do that to 100 people. I'm only going to coach one or two. The
Hmm.
other people they're not mentally ready, and I'm not going to waste my time, and I'm not just going to take people's money because that's a bad energy exchange, right?
It is. It
And it's
is.
like, nah, man, I live on cause and effect, right? I cause the effect. So it's
There
like
we go.
if they're serious and they want to really go in, then we go in and bring the
Uh-huh.
tissue box, male, female, it don't matter. I was on a podcast one time and the lady was like, so like, who do you piss off? And I was like, mostly my clients. And she's like, wait, what? Like, why? What are you talking about? It's like, well, if you have to sit in front of me and you have to look at yourself as the root cause of all your issues and problems, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, Craig, you suck. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's like, yeah, you want to
But you have
change?
to get there. Yeah, you want to change? You got to get there. Like you said, we have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, your comfort zone is not going to save you. Nobody's coming to save you other than yourself.
Yep,
Right? And I
that is
listen.
so
I
true.
listen to people in a personal development, and it's like, well, I helped them. You didn't do nothing, man. You just regurgitated your shit that right? And if they absorbed it, it's based off of what they want to learn. You can't
Mm.
really teach anybody anything unless they want to, jump on
Yeah, they want to
board
do the
and
work.
actually learn something different. I got a
Yep.
buddy of mine. He talks about whenever he coaches people, it's a dictatorship. This isn't a
What?
democracy. You're coming to me. You want to
What?
learn something different. This is a dictatorship, man. Pay attention. When you pay attention, your life is going to change. This isn't about
Hmm.
me going, oh, I want you to tell me that you like me. Fuck about that. I want you to change for you.
Yeah,
That's when you
that's
come
the
with
truth.
empathy, man. And people,
Yeah.
some people are just full of shit with themselves, man. They want to be hypocrites.
Yeah. A lot of people just want to get to that finish line, but they don't want to do the work at the beginning of the start line.
So it's like from this point to this point, right? It's who you are in the process.
Hmm.
No, I
Hmm.
used to hate that process, man, because I
Yep.
had to look at myself,
Yeah.
and I got a
That's
face
the
for
hardest thing.
radio. Come on, man.
Tell her, Grace, I got a face for radio. Now, how can they get in contact with you? Whether it's speaking, whether it's mentorship, or your course, how can they get in contact with you?
My website, CraigSikowski.com.
Well, okay, period.
It's got all my
Y'all,
social media on there. There's no place there where you can put a Visa or Mastercard in.
tell us about that. Why? Because normally you see when people go check out, it's like, okay, let me pay for this course.
Why am I gonna waste my time with somebody that doesn't want to learn,
Back to that. Makes sense.
right? So it's like I'm not here about the volume, man. I'm here about
Mm,
actually helping people. Oh, that just
That's what I
popped up
like to
like
hear.
that. How'd you do that?
Look, the Dr. Jason got us good in the background. He got us good.
Yo,
Guys, this
Doc,
is Craig
Go to the
Page.
service page.
This is Craig's page, guys. Go check it out.
There you
You
go.
will
There's a
learn
service
so
page.
much. Yes, let's look at his services. I did see that you had the 101. It's you have the 8-week course for the business growth program. And you have this what's the sign-in list? But there was something else on there that I saw. There we go. Keep
You
going.
you can come to the Yucatan and I can coach you one on one at the pyramids, the temples, and the cenotes.
Uh, Greg got it all. Craig, these are some amazing services. The fact that you do a free 15-minute, like, and you dive in and you're like, okay, this is what you're gonna do, like to provide a service that, and you are truly knowledgeable on it. That's what I love. And the fact that you have had so much happen to you and to give someone else their identity, their truth, their alignment and their faith and hope, like that's a lot and that means a lot. I can't wait to see what else becomes of you, because I know there's more greatness ahead. um you've been,
Thank you.
again, you just been through so much, and I thank you just for your service of what you do and what you have done, from 9/11 on up, and just from one cancer survivor to another. We're gonna get through this as we have and smiling through it.
That's it, man. Smiling through it.
Smiling through it. Before we go, I do want to ask you one last question. Um, what after everything you survived, what do you know about life now that most people still don't know?
That's a tough question.
Oh, finally got you.
That that no, that is a tough question. What do I know now that most people don't know?
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
I know you have it. You, because again,
nobody.
you've been through a lot.
I think I think nobody laughs or cries in a different language, right? So I think
Mm,
I really believe that if we start talking more about our commonalities rather than our differences, this earth is going to wake up,
mm,
right? So
I feel
so it's
that.
like let's like join communities together, right? Look at your circle. If you're not talking about uplifting, but you're chatting about, Susie next door, or
Hmm.
Jamal down the street, and no, man, it's not. No, let's
Yeah,
uplift. Let's uplift. Let's motivate, inspire, and most of all, learn how to execute on our ideas. Because,
exactly.
I mean, when you're looking at somebody and you're like, "Oh man, I wish I had that Porsche, or I wish I had that Bentley." That guy might be wishing that he was at peace, or that girl
Mm,
might be wishing that she was in love with somebody.
yeah, yeah,
We're all going through something right now. Life is hard, man.
exactly.
Life is very
Life
hard.
is
You just got
hard.
to be
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. I like that you say nobody laugh and cry, and we all laugh and cry in the same language. I've definitely never heard that, never thought about that, because we do, and it's communication. It's fact. It definitely all we all go through something, but it's definitely about how you overcome what you do to overcome. And again, back to inspire, motivate, pouring into each other. I think that's the only way we're going to continue, like you said, build that community by doing those things.
Yeah, I want to go to your barbecue, man. Who's making an oxtail?
Craig want to
Right?
come to the barbecue, y'all.
Hey, you know what's really,
Come on over.
funny? You know what's really funny? I'll show up at your barbecue and I'll cook Jamaican food for you. I used to have a Jamaican restaurant. Man.
Really?
Yeah, downtown Jersey City, in the middle of an Italian neighborhood. Tell me how that worked out.
Right? That part. How you manage that?
It was interesting, but
Look,
I also had a couple Indian restaurants in Merida, Mexico, where I am now. So
what have you not done? What have you not done? It sounds like it's a very much shorter list. You have done a
Can't
lot.
can't get into that.
Man. You said those are the files we don't talk about.
No, those are the non-disclosure agreements.
I heard that. You guys definitely go check out Greg. Craig, he won't say Greg. You already invite you to the cookout and called you Greg.
Greg.
But Craig,
Yeah, Craig and
uh,
them.
Craig and them, yeah, you is a trip, Craig. Y'all check out Craig's page, his info. We're definitely gonna put his link in the link below this episode. Please, 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 if you're struggling to find your identity, find your purpose, you want to get in line and in tune with yourself. I promise you, Craig is the person that you need to talk to, even if you need some uplifting, some inspiring, some pointing to some motivation. Craig is the one to talk to get you out of that run and get your life right. Get it in order, okay? Craig, it has been a time with you tonight. I mean, you gotta come back on the show. Like, we gotta have you back. We're not done with you. We're not done with you. We're not done. We're gonna bring Craig back, okay? And one day we're gonna get you in person. We're gonna get you out to the Dallas. We're gonna definitely have to get you out here and
I
have a
think that
cookout.
I think that's one of my runs. So I'm for the 25th anniversary. I'm going to be going to doing an RV across the United States for
Really?
cancer and mental health awareness for September 11th, 25th anniversary. Yeah,
Really? Invite me out. I would love to come out and support. I would love to.
I'm going to be going to 20 cities in the United States, and I'm going to be on podcasts, morning shows, evening shows. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing lives as I'm doing it. It's going to be a documentary.
Sweet. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see that. Definitely let me know when you come to Dallas. We'll definitely have to get you in the studio. I am so excited and I look forward to it for sure.
Thank you so much.
No, no problem. Guys, again, go check out Craig. It's been a real raw Let's Talk hour. You guys, before we go, we are going to go into 40, which is the movie review that I did for this week for To Be Tuesday. Y'all come back next Thursday where we got another topic that we're marching into this March with deeper conversations and deeper. Whoa, I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened. Ooh, y'all know me and my tongue always chopping it up. But anyway, we're getting deeper this March with conversations and more intentional and more meaning with these conversations. So stay tuned. If you're on the Facebook page, go over it, or if you're on the nostalgic page, make sure that you go over to the Real Raw Let's Talk YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss none of our upcoming conversations and topics. And you need to go back and rewind this from the beginning because we definitely had a good time with Craig tonight. Guys, before we get out, again, stay tuned to watch this movie review for 40 out on Tubi now. Chad, have you ever played the cat and mouse game with somebody and y'all started flirting and it got a little bit too serious real fast and now you done talked yourself into some shit that you can't get out of and when it's time to perform, you ain't about their life? Me neither, but we're going to talk about it this week on this week's To Be Tuesday. Now it's March, baby. Get your drink and get your snacks because we got time to chat. This week's movie is called 40, yes, Forty, by the director Joran Isabel. Now, Larry ain't been getting no play from his wife Janae ever since they had the baby, and the baby is full grown, look like the baby by 5. Larry get this itch one night to go on this porn site, and he meet this girl named Chastity. Now, he got this homeboy named Duke, and when I tell you I like me some Duke, baby, Duke was telling him all the real deal, yo, you gonna ruin your life, you gonna lose everything that you done worked for, and it ain't even worth it. Larry was not trying to hear that. He went right back home and started messaging Chastity. Pay close attention to them text messages. I couldn't believe how this man was sitting here going back and forth with this girl online, and then she asked for the Addy, and you know what he did? He gives her the goddamn Addy. I could not believe it. I was like, men really be a fool. Men really be a fool. Now, then come to find out, Chastity only lived 5 minutes away. Oh, I was through. Larry was not about that life at all. All that he talked about on that keyboard, baby, he wasn't about none of that. And I ain't gonna tell you, but there was a big old misunderstanding between Chastity and Larry that caused Chastity to pull out a gun. Now, Larry get back home and baby, Chastity done sent him a message telling him, I'm finna ruin your life. And she was not playing. I would have been Larry with one eye open, both eye open when I'm asleep because I just wouldn't trust her. Now, Larry's wife Janae gets an invite to a brunch, and guess who's at this brunch? Chastity. You heard me. After brunch, Chastity pulls up to Larry and them house and start playing mind games on Larry. The ending of this movie is crazy. Y'all go watch 40 now, and you know your girl gonna leave you hanging. Like, what happened to Janae? Do she find out that Larry cheated?
It's like, I wish that I could. So do them other guys.
Schaefer, that's a hit. For real.
I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk. Show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's new day, it's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worrisome like some gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bum bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on a TV screen. It's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut you hating hoes off like a fresh fade. Get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari Reed. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk. Show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it.